Hi guys, welcome to Crypto Me 101, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. I'm sorry I'm a bit late today, 10 minutes late to be precise, but as you all know, let's share the link first before we get into the day's business. Let me share the link quickly. Just 1 minute, then we're going to go. A lot has happened over the weekend where we saw the market plummet and at the same time kind of recovering so fast. At least we can see EOS doing great. EOS, Ethereum, BTC kind of recovering a little bit as well. But we're going to check all that out on the show this morning. And if you're just joining or just watching the show for the first time, please subscribe, like, and share. And do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you will always get the content as we drop it immediately. I think we've shared it on inside the community group. Let's quickly share it on Facebook and X as well, so we can get into today's business. Just 1 minute of your time and I'll be with you. Just 1 minute. We are going to be fine. That is posted. Yeah, let's post it in the normal feed as well, so people can join the live and get more value when it comes to crypto space. Yeah, this is just the last post. Let me paste it there. Pasted. And next, close, post. All right, guys, welcome to the show. It's Monday morning, 29th of September 2025. And as you all know, this is the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show where we trade it and we do not gamble it. As you all know, we say that is it as it is on this show and share the real value that we need to get from the crypto space, because there is a lot of noise out there, fake, promising and all of that. But what this show is all about, with my experience, with my years of experiences in the game, what I know, I use it to, filter the noise and bring you what is best for you on this great platform. All right, I'm Ahmed Oladimeji Kazim, aka KC the Great, and this is the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show where we trade it and we do not gamble it. Last week we saw a lot of things happening, from market breaking the floor, and I told you we need to wait for this week to see, since the structure is being broken, let's see if this week is not going to break the previous week candle, and if we should break it down, then we know we need to leave the market. But we'll be doing that this morning through the chart analysis, where we're going to take a look at all these tokens you can see listed right here, and we're going to discuss it together or analyze them together. But remember, this is not financial advice, it's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research before you invest or put your money on any token. Also, you need to understand something, that the market right now is at a 50-50 chance of, are we still going to pull up, or are we still going to start the bear market right now? Like I said last week, I told you guys that not that we are in a bear market yet, but we might be, close. Join the live now. Sorry, I'm just trying to post that. Sure. But we might be close. Why am I saying that? Because we can see a lot of things we've been waiting for has happened, but yet nothing seems to really push the market to where everyone wants it to be. The 130K for Bitcoin or 180K for Bitcoin, the 4,000 to 5,000, 5,000 plus for Ethereum, and some other altcoins like that everyone has been shouting about. But on this show, we take a look at the charts, we take a look at the news, we take a look at the events, and every aspect of the cryptocurrency space to know what we need to do so we do not make mistake like some of us did last bull run. So without wasting our time this morning, we're going to start with the way we normally do on the show, which is to check out the news. First, from the news, we check what the market cap, the event of the day. Then we'll not come back to the chart analysis because I know that's where a lot of you want to, get information about. So we're going to do that too, but you just need to stick around. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do that right now. It's Crypto Bean 101, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. And also, you can follow me on all social media platforms. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on X. You can follow me on TikTok because I dropped some nugget on there. Also, you can follow me on Instagram to get some of the tips we'll be bringing out to you on this great platform. All right, without no further ado, let's now move into the show quickly. And we're going to start with the news, as you all know. And if you can see, we are entering what? We are entering a big week as numerous altcoin events and economic development is going to take place. And we need to be conscious about that. Why? Because if you remember, before we had the Jackson Hole, there was this FOMO about it. Before we had the rate cuts, the FOMC, a lot of FOMO about it as well. But I told you that you need to be careful because we saw BTC, which is the king of crypto, breaking the structure. So the pulling back we were seeing before those events was just the hype before the event. Now you can see after the event, the market started falling. So we need to be careful about that because we've got big week ahead of us. And you can see the cryptocurrency market is preparing to welcome numerous economic developments and altcoin events in this new week. And however, this development and altcoin event in this new week may deeply affect the market. You can see may deeply affect the market, and that is true. You need to understand that when all these events are taking place, a lot of FOMO, that's FOMO, FUD fraud will be kicking into the market, and we're gonna see kind of volatility and a lot of that happening in the market. So you don't need to be caught with that. And you can see on Monday, which is today, we're gonna have Monarch token will be launched. We're gonna see Run, that is Running Treasury Plan to launch Run token buyback. And on Tuesday, we're gonna have all of these. FTX next compensation payment will be made. The chairman of the U.S. Senate Banking Committee said that the crypto market structure bill will be completed before 30th September, which is tomorrow. And talk about 1st of October. And speaking of 1st of October, you guys know I'll be starting our challenge. Is a trading challenge on the 1st of October, which is in 2 days time. And if you want to be part of history, if you want to be part of great thing that's going to shake the internet, you might want to join me on pump.fun, and the links are down in the description, or you can check my TikTok out to see the video that I made for what we're going to be launching on 1st of October. All right, back to the news. You can see on October we have 1 inch is going to make an announcement. Senate session is on cryptocurrency taxation will be held. And on Thursday, we have Sui Fest is starting. Asia Arif Day, we have US initial job claims to be coming up, and the expected data should be 229. So we have a lot of things coming out, and even on Friday, we're going to experience the non-farm payroll and unemployment rate data coming out on Friday. So you can see we have pretty much of events coming up this week, and we really don't want to be caught in the middle. So that's why we need to make sure we are glued to this channel, because on this channel we come to you every morning 10 a.m. SCST time, 8 a.m. GMT, depends on where you're watching from, and you can catch this show live. All right, moving on. The next news on the radar, and this is expert sees this as the last opportunity to get on crypto train before the major surge. And that is why you see beginning of the show I told you is like we're on a 50-50 kind of break it or make it situation in this game. And I'm going to tell you why, because a lot of people are starting to shift their sentiment towards the bear market is coming, the bull run is over. While we still have, some majority of the, crypto community still believing we've not had altcoin season, we've not seen meme coin season, so the bull run can be over. And everyone now is now trying to say, this is the last chance to get on the crypto train before the major surge. If you ask me, what I'm going to say is, even though we're going to see a push, because I don't really see any big news coming again when it comes to macroeconomics. I'm talking about the event that could push Bitcoin to 180, 200K, except Fed cut rate by 75 basis points. I'm telling you, if that should happen, I can even say Bitcoin will hit 250K. But with what we saw yesterday, the PPI came out, the projection shows that the Fed might not really cut rate that much for the rest of the year. Even though they're going to cut, it might be another 25 basis points. So with that being on the radar, we might not really see something that's going to shake the crypto market up, and we don't have free money that can stimulate the market or that can come into the market to push it to there like we did in 2020. So I just feel like it's break it or make it, and we're going to check the fear and greed index out. We'll move to fear towards the end of the week last week, and probably we'll be back to neutral with the way the market is moving back. But one thing you need to know, when there is a fall, we need to have a pullback. So because we're having a pullback doesn't mean the market has started moving up. And because the market is not moving, it doesn't mean we can't have a pullback to be the beginning of the market to start moving up. So it's like a 50-50 situation there, and we need to be careful so we don't make wrong decisions. But on this show, we're going to take a look at the chart, and that is my favorite part of the show, where we dissect and we know what we need to do regarding our portfolio or whatever we are holding on to. And you can see crypto trend is about to move, as some analysts believe, and this is the last opportunity to get on the board. And you can see crypto market are known for the fast shift, where early entry can often make the difference between modest gains and explosive returns. Many investors today are watching closely for signals that the next major surge could be around the corner. With Bitcoin consolidating near new highs and altcoins activity picking up across all the exchange platform that we have, the question for many is whether now is the final chance to secure a position before the market accelerates again. Among the project generating buzz is Mega Coin Finance, a token audited that has seen a record-breaking pre-sale, a rapidly expanding community, and rising global attention. And I'm going to tell you something about that. We saw what happened with A-Star when they launched it last week, or last 2 weeks thereabout. It went up. But now, I have a news for you. about 1 billion market cap has been gone or flown out of the market. So don't think because you saw this news, some coins started, the pre-sale is making say that means no. We're not going to buy that. What we're going to check is the chart. If the chart tells us we should come back into the market and we see the event of the day, it aligns with the macroeconomic event and all of that, then we get on to the market, but not with some news or some FOMO that will just make you think, oh, I'm going to miss, I need to back on the trend, all of that. No, we don't do that on this show. All right, let's check another news on the radar, and this is about BTC, and you can see that BTC, excuse me, it's not sharing. Why? Hold on, guys. I think this thing is not sharing. Let me check it out. Why is that? It's not changing. Let me see. This thing is not changing. I think we need to. Let me check it out. Why? Just 1 second. Guys, hold on. Let me check something out. Because this is supposed to be changing, but it's not. Let's see. So I think I'll have to reshare it. Camera, chat, property. I think I'm gonna get it now. Okay. Why is this not changing, guys? Close property. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this thing back online. It has to be. Okay, let me do it like this. Yes, I think I'm getting it now. And then let's turn it back. Property, capture, and it should be one of these. Yeah, I think we pick it up now. Yes, I think we picked it up now. So let's see. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think we're back. We're back. I think we're back. So, like I said, we're entering a new big week. Sorry about that, guys. I can see we have some of you online. Yeah, we're back. Okay. I'm just trying to test it to make sure you can see what I'm sharing. Yes, I think it's working perfect. So, like I said, we're entering a new big week and a lot of events. It's there. You can see. I didn't know if you see that when I was explaining it, but if you didn't see it here, how the event on the screen. But let's move to the other news, which is experts believe this is the last opportunity to get on the crypto train before the major surge. And I told you guys we should not really FOMO into that until we see what is going on with the chart analysis, because with the chart analysis we're definitely going to know if we need to get onto the trade or buy more or sell more, and that is what we're going to, because you can see right here among the project that is generating buzz is Megacoin Finance with a record breaking pre-sales. We've seen that so many times, and at the end of the day that doesn't mean that the crypto or the market is going to adhere to only one project. Do you get what I'm trying to say? All right, let's move on. And more news on the radar. And this one is Bitcoin faces path of correction on road to record high. And if you can see, Bitcoin journey towards new all-time high is unlikely to be a straight path upward. This is according to market analysis Jodil Visa, who warned that big correction of 20% or more will be part of the process. Even as the fourth quarter is traditionally strong for crypto market, Visa believes pullbacks are inevitable while Bitcoin builds its long-term trajectory. And I'm not going to lie to you, that is 100% true. I think I accept with that. And the reason why I accept with that is because I told you guys, if you look at the chart and you see what has been going on with Bitcoin, you see that we have this structure that has been broken. But now last week we created another structure from the top, and I told you guys, if we're able to break this 110 and we break this weekly candle, we should get out of the market, or we wait for this main structure at 106 to 105. You understand? But we're not going to delve into the chart analysis now. We come back to that shortly, so we do not leave the news that are making waves. So now Bitcoin faces path to correction, which I think we're going to have some corrections, but we still need to be careful because, you know, we have that double top and the all-time high thing. We might want to push ahead as a fake out to go and touch that top before the market start falling off. All right, more news on the radar, and this is still about BTC. Bitcoin bounces back. Could current recovery trigger fresh bullish momentum? And if you can see from the highlighted stuff here, Bitcoin started a fresh recovery wave above 110,500 over the weekend. And the price is trading above 110,000 as we speak. And also, the pair might continue to move up if it clears the 100 and what? 112,000 zone. You can see that is very important. That is if we're able to go above the 112,000 zone. If we break above the 112,000 zone, yes, that is going to work. But if we didn't, I'm afraid we might need to what? We might need to just kind of, I don't know how I'm going to call it, wait a bit and see what will happen. I think we're experiencing that same stuff again. I think we're experiencing that again. It's not sharing anymore. Why is this doing like this? Okay. I think I'll have to close some of the... Let me close some of this app. Maybe that is why it's lagging. Let's do that and see. Because I can see if you guys are not seeing what I'm sharing. You see, it's supposed to be sharing this now. And it's not. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let's see what is really going on. We are on this. We're not on this any longer. Bitcoin stream. So it's stuck on this. So I think what we're going to do, in order not to disturb the show, I'm just going to do this so we don't have problems. So let me do this property, remove it from that, Yeah, let's do that. So let's do that for the rest of the show, so we do not have issues again. Yeah, let's do that. Yes, that is good. Yes. So this is what we're going to use for the rest of the show. Then we are going to sort that out against the next live. Sorry about the pause, because if I don't get the message across to you, it's of no use. All right, back to the show. I think it stopped at this one. Yeah, this is the last thing I saw on it, but this is what I'm sharing right now, which is making sense. Okay, if you look at this, you see that it says Bitcoin faces the path of correction on the road to record high, and we have another news on the radar which shows that Bitcoin bounces back, but could the current recovery trigger fresh bullish momentum? And I was telling you guys about this pair that shows that at least we must, or the pair might continue to move up if we clearly move above 100 and 12,000, 112,500, which we are not above. Yeah, but we're going to come back to that on the chart analysis, and I hope from there we're going to know what we need to do about that. All right, let's move on. And more news on the radar. Market pullbacks could open doors for three cryptos. We have the Mutum Finance, the Solana. We all know the meme coins about Solana and the Ethereum. And now analysts are believing these three tokens might move drastically with the recovery of the market. But mind you, this is not financial advice. It's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research before you put your money on any token. All right, the recent crypto crash has reminded investors that downtowns often brings opportunities, and market pullback, we said, inflated valuation and opened the doors to projects with real growth engines. And among the names gaining attention are the MUTM, that is the Mutum Finance, Solana, and Ethereum, each offering distinct advantages at today's crypto price. And speaking of Ethereum, you can now see that Ethereum price bounces back from the look of thing, and it looks promising. But is this rally actually real? And you can see Ethereum remains stable above 3,820 and started a recovery wave. Also, the price is trading above 4,050 right now, and the pair could continue to move up if settled above 4,170 and 4,200. But we're going to check that out on the charts analysis as well to see if that is going to work well for us. All right, let's move on and check more news on the radar. We're still talking about altcoins, and EOS climbs 15% green in a day. And I'm not going to lie to you, I think this should be the strongest coin of the day. Looking at what happened to it, it dropped almost 14% and it has bounced back with 15% immediately when the crypto market opens up. Crypto market doesn't close anyways, but I'm just talking about like on Sunday evening when the forex market opened as well. And we can see at its current price now, it has now moved up 15%, and I think that is great recovery for EOS. Let's see if ETH and BTC and the likes will follow as well. And another news is on Solana. You can see Solana may fall below $200 amid falling open interest and weak buyer confidence. Solana price is under clear downward pressure as falling future opens interest and weakening short-term holder. And also you can see that the short-term holders near 0.03 signal fragile buyer profit, and higher liquidation is at risk. And we all know all these meme coins they've been launching on Solana. And even though we're gonna have meme coin season this bull run, I feel like Solana is gonna do well, and I won't be shocked if Solana flip Ethereum. Maybe not this bull run, but in the next. But you know, there's one thing I've learned about all these bull cycles. If one coin is buzzing, maybe for NFT or meme coin this cycle, before the next cycle you see another coin now doing better with the platform. And so we might think Solana will be the next, or will continue to be the launch pad for meme coin until the next cycle. And we're going to be shocked when we see other token or other project coming out and doing better than Solana. So we can't write any token off, but we're still going to check that out on the charts analysis to see what is really going on with it. All right, let's move on. Now let's talk about A-Star. You know, I told you guys last week A-Star was doing phenomenally well. A-Star was doing so well, especially after CZ tweeted about it. Everyone jumped on it. We even saw the popular YouTuber Mr. Beast jumped on it. I think, according to what I read, it bought probably about $1 million worth of token or something like that. But we're still going to hear more news about that in the future, because there's this conspiracy theory about it that it was an insider buy and stuff like that. But if that is the case, that is going to kill the token. I hope that is not the case. All right, you can see here is why traders are cutting back exposure after market cap lost $1 billion. And you can see A-Star may test the 1.32 support level if selling continues, or rebound towards 2.1 or 2.4 if speculative demand revives. And since hitting the all-time high of 2.43 on 24th of September, A-Star has been intense down pressure on the chart. And that is what I always tell you guys. You know, I said whenever you see any coin is pumping, if you did not catch it from the bottom, or let's say from the middle, don't join the people buying at the top. Don't join, because they will use it to cash out. You get my point? Because no matter how the market moves to the moon, it's still going to come back down to retrace. You understand? It's going to come back down maybe for about 50% or 60% or 70%. Then you can now get back in and follow it all the way up. You understand? Because when you join them at the top, the market is going to fall back down, and it's going to cause a lot of tension, emotion, and then you're going to have mixed feelings and make wrong decisions. You could see I told you about BNB when it hit $1,000 milestone. Everyone want to start jumping on it. I was like, no. We need to calm down. If you were on it from 600, 700, it's fine. But because it's now above 1,000, you want to jump on it. No, it's not really good. You understand? Except you don't mind if you join at that price. If you pull back, you're still going to wait in the market for recovery. But sometimes, we humans, it plays with your emotions, psychology, and all of that. And you start making wrong or dumb decisions. So I always advise, the moment you see a token pumping and you didn't hear about it, or you were not on that trade from onset, just wait, because that shows you now have buyers on the market. But you're going to see a pullback, which is a retrace. You understand? Elliott waves, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. Then we have the ABC to pullback. So you always have a pullback. There is no asset class on earth, check be it forex trading, bond, commodities, stocks, you will always see the market is in waves, zigzags up and down. So don't let your emotion push you into buying at the top, then they use it to cash out. Then when it's falling, you're scared, you sell, then they buy from you again, then you lose your money. So you need to always be cognizant of that. But mind you, this is not financial advice. It's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research. Now you can now see $1 billion is now been lost, or is been cutting out of the market cap of ETH, not still a bad project because it's a DEX that we have one of the biggest centralized exchange supporting, and I'm talking of Binance, and I'm talking about someone that has been pushing something great, the likes of CZ and them, and they are backing this project. So definitely I know it's going to do well. But what I'm trying to say is because we know it's going to do well, doesn't mean we jump on it or we trade it blindly. No, we're not going to do that. Hyperliquid is there trading at $45, 40 something dollar, and I know they want to match wings with Hyperliquid, which they can do it because imagine it's Binance. Binance can push anything. And now they know that a lot of people are believing in DEX, so they can be the custodian of their own money. So they feel like probably in the future when we have bigger adoption and all of that, everyone might want to be using DEX, and that's why they're backing this. And if you watch one of his interviews on X that I saw, he said they are investing in some of these DEXs that are into perpetual and all of that. So I feel like ETH is going to do well, but please don't jump on this blindly. In fact, at the time of writing, the altcoin was trading at 1.74, following a 10.34% decline on daily charts. You can read that. So we need to be careful about ETH, but we're still going to take a look at it on the charts as well. As you all know, any token we mention on the news, we take a look at them on the chart to really now discuss more further about it. And speaking about Hyperliquid that I just mentioned now, you could see that Address short 8,000 ETH on Hyperliquid at 20x leverage, now facing 4.49 million unrealized loss. That is huge, guys. Imagine someone is losing close to $4.5 million. That is huge. And that's why I'm telling you, we are between make it or break it out. I wouldn't know where his liquidation is. Maybe it's above 5,000 or 6,000, but it could later make the money back if ETH start dumping, or if we are into bear market. And you can see on-chain analysis from AI Anti indicate a single address executed a substantial ETH short using 20x leverage, having funded the position with a $3.2 million deposit to Hyperliquid roughly 4 hours prior. The trader enlarged the exposure to approximately 8,000 ETH, and now with an entry price at 3,547 and stated liquidation near 4,522. You see, so the liquidation is at 4,005. Let's see if it's not going to get liquidated, but if we're going to see a pushback, we know we have the all-time high for Ethereum around that zone, so it needs to be careful though. But we're going to see, because it might be right, the market might still continue to dump after the New York market open today, because it's just a pullback we're seeing, not really a big move to push the market back. All right, more news on the radar, and we're still talking about Solana and all of that. And now SEC decision could open door for Solana spot ETFs among October 16 crypto fund filing. We all know a lot of ETFs are sitting on this SEC DEX for approval. XRP is one of them. Solana is one of them. I think ADA, we can see Dodge, and a lot of them are just there, and we are going to bring the news to you whenever they approve. And you can see the deadline span is between October 2nd till October 24th, and we're going to see the likes of Solana, XRP, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and others being approved or rejected by the SEC. But SEC has laid down a simple and easy rules for anyone that want ETF to be approved, and I'm not going to doubt that we might see that they are going to be getting approved, and that is going to affect the market. You can see the list of what needs to be approved here, and the ticker and the company behind them as well. All right, let's move on. And this is still about talking about the ETF. We now have 6 XRP ETF application under SEC review, could pave way for US listing as CME expand derivatives. And you know, I've been telling you something about XRP, and thank God one of the founder came out to actually speak about what I said, and I'm still going to show you that. I said that last week or so, saying XRP, the reason why they're doing a lot and they're not really getting much of whatever they're doing is because they want to operate like a traditional bank, and which people don't like that in form of crypto. And I think the Ripple, one of the CEO, the co-founder, said something, and I'm going to show you guys shortly. All right, let's move on. You can see SEC ruling on 6 spot XRP ETF application as scheduled between October 18 to 25. Approvals could open US market access for XRP while concurrent CME launches, and Ripple Bank Charter review may further shape institutional participation and regulatory clarity with that. So we're going to wait for that and see what will come out of that. All right, let's move on to the next one, and this one is a well opened 17.6 million US dollar XRP short on SEC near crucial spot crypto ETF decision. You can see with some massive amount of money open on ETH, even though the person is losing right now, and now we can see somebody opening 17.6 million XRP short as said. So I do not really know what is going on. That's why I told you from beginning of the show that I think we are in a break it or make it situation, if you ask me, because a lot of people are thinking we are close to what? To the bear cycle, you know, run. Why some people still believe we're still going to shoot a ball. The moment you start seeing this big short being opening, you need to be careful. A major trader has opened a massive XRP short right on the verge of likely spot ETF approval, and everyone, you know, it's surprising, something good, something nice is coming, but someone is shorting the market. And if you do not forget, last week we saw one of the co-founder of XRP withdrawing about 6 million or 5 million US dollar, if I'm not mistaken, into a centralized exchange. Probably wants to sell it, and people start thinking that, okay, if one of the co-founder is pulling out so much ETH, what do we think? And maybe that is what is pulling these people to short the market. But mind you, this is not financial advice. It's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research. All right, let's move on, and we're still on XRP. XRP is essentially replicating banking system. I've said it countless without number, but I'm going to show you what the CEO now said right now regarding that. But before we move to that, you can see that Jeff Booth, the Canadian author, entrepreneur, and investor, offered pointed remarks on the nature of XRP and its role in modern finance during a recent discussion. His comments have drawn interest for challenging the notion that blockchain-based solutions such as XRP represent a break from the existing system. And that is what I've been saying, because with what XRP, Ripple have been doing as a company, XRP token is supposed to be like 10, 20, or even competing with Solana. But it's not doing that, because a lot of people see them that they want to operate like the native or the traditional bank in form of crypto, and people don't want that because that is where they are running away from. You see, so Booth suggested that the model behind XRP reflect the very structure it claimed to transform. The video featuring Booth remark was shared on X by Xive, that is at Xive_crypto, a well-known crypto proponent. And Xive sees the discussion as a debate over whether XRP is driving change in financial system or simply reproducing traditional structure but in form of cryptocurrency. All right, now let me share what he said about it. You can see Ripple CEO placed word on XRP utility renaissance towards a community-aware ETF decision. And Ripple CEO Brad says that it has emphasized that the value of XRP is rooted in its utility in financial world rather than the speculation or replacing traditional finance as a whole. You see, that's what it's trying to say. It's trying to let us know that Ripple or XRP token is really, really rooted in what its utility in financial world rather than, but no one is saying it's not rooted in the utility or whatever. But what they're saying is the structure, you understand, the model behind it looks exactly like the traditional, but that is what it's trying to debunk, right? And one of such comment was made in an old interview which has surfaced to catch the eye of some XRP investors on the social media platform X. Years later, those comments are being revisited as XRP continue to push for adoption in global market and as investors are counting down to the SEC's upcoming decision on spot XRP ETF application. So that is what I told you, that he came out to say it's rooted in the utility, not mirroring the traditional, but the model behind it is showing it. So who are we going to believe? Is it the structure you're showing us or what you believe the whole thing is being rooted on? All right, guys, that's what I have for you on the news segment this morning. Now, before we move to the event of the day or what the market cap looks like, please, if you're still watching, please subscribe to the channel, likes, comment, share, and do not forget to put on your notification bell so you always get the notification when we drop content for you on this great platform. Also, you can follow me on Facebook, X, TikTok, and on Instagram to get more of this nugget. All right, let's dive real quick into what the event of the day looks like and see what the cryptocurrency market cap is also looking like before we move to the chart analysis. I know that is what a lot of us are waiting for, but we need to always know what is really going around, what we want to discuss about before we jump right into it. So let's check the event of the day. As we all know, we check it on forexfactory.com for you to know what is coming up regarding the event of the day. And if you look at today, mostly on Monday, we do not always have good or big event like that. You can see it's all yellow and just some orange, which is the pending home sales month to month. And we're going to have President Donald J. Trump speaks later around 7:15 p.m. GMT, which is 5:15 p.m. GMT, which is 7:15 p.m. SAST. So I think we don't really have much to look at regarding the event of the day. Let's now check what the cryptocurrency market cap is looking like. And if you look at the cryptocurrency market cap, we are still below 4 trillion US dollars. We are now around 3.961 trillion US dollars, and about 108 billion was traded in 4 hours. Esther is still trending, and you can see joined by Plasman and Orderly, and top gainers token are Pop token, Pearl token, and Orderly token. Those are meme coin, I guess. And if you see, look at the market are still in red, kind of. If you look at it, you can see the market are still in red, but that doesn't stop us from checking what the top 10 cryptocurrency looks like. And if you look at the screen, you see that Bitcoin will always be number one and is still number one with a market cap of 2.2 trillion US dollars. And we have number two, which is Ethereum, sitting at less than $500 billion US dollars, sitting at 498 billion US dollars. And you can see Theta at number 3, XRP at number 4, BNB at number 5, Solana at number 6, USDC at number 7, even though they're all in red. Lido stake at number 8. Dogecoin is now sitting at number 9. And you can see Tron is at number 10. And the likes of Cardona, Chainlink, Hyperliquid, Sui, Avalanche are below top 10. If you're interested in knowing where your project sits on the cryptocurrency market rank, you might want to check out CoinGecko to have more of that information. All right, that's that on the market cap and the top 10 thereabout. Let's now dive into the chart analysis and see what is really going on. And if you look at the chart right now, this is Bitcoin chart on a weekly time frame. You see that we have broken this zone, but we have not broken this weekly time frame. So for the fact that we are still maintaining above this weekly time frame, I feel like we can just hold on to our positions, or if we're out of the position, we'll see if we're going to have a structure around these 112 and 115 thereabout on a weekly, then we can join back. But if we have not taken profit and we are still on on Bitcoin trade, we might just want to hold on to that, even though I've turned this to red because we've broken the weekly time frame thereabout. But this is the main place we're going to be looking at. As long as we didn't take out this 106, the market might still recover. So let's change it to green for this week because we could not break below that. So BTC is still looking like we might push up again, but anything that makes us break this 108,500 thereabout, I think we might just want to step aside with BTC. Now let's take a look at ETH. ETH actually is a sell. I'm not going to lie to you. If you look at ETH, our structure has been broken and we have the body below the structure. This one is different to BTC. BTC out of structure, went back, now breakable. We're not breaking it. But with this now, I'm not going to lie to you. We might want to hold on to see if we're going to see this week pump back. Then if it's breaking the weekly time frame, then we can get back inside. But let's check it on a daily time frame to be sure if we have any structure to buy back. Yes, we do have. You can see this is a structure to buy back on a daily time frame, but mind you, this is not a confirmation. We need to break above this daily candle before we can even confirm it if we're using daily time frame. So like I said, since this is all about investing and spot trading, not for day trader that is doing futures or derivatives. If you want that, you can join my Telegram channel. The links are down in the description, where you get free education and signals for any trade you want to take. But now, if you look at this, even on a daily time frame, you see that we're having a structure for buyback, but you see this is a flat candle finisher. We need to break above it. So I'll say we need to hold on for ETH a bit. Let's see how today's candle, let's say that. Let's see what today's candle is going to print. If it prints a good one, then we can jump right in, because if you look at what happened right here, you can see that we have a kicker right here, and we had a kicker, the market moved down until we have a nice structure to buy back. Then we have a kicker to push it back, and so on and so forth. And if you look at it, you see we have a kicker right here to tell us we should leave the market. So even though we're going to buy, we need a week to finish above this daily candle and buy above that, even though we don't want to wait for the weekly candle. So I'm still going to leave the ETH as red, which means we should stay away from it for now. So let's take a look at Solana. Solana also, no, let me go back to weekly candle first. Let's go back to weekly candle. Yeah, Solana is still a buy. Why? Because you can see it has not been able to break this 185. So Solana is still a buy. What else do we have on the news? We had Solana, we have A-Star. Let's take a look at A-Star token. I think I brought it out last week. Yeah, this is A-Star. Let's take a look at A-Star. Then we're going to take a look at ADA as well. and other ones. Ether on a weekly time frame is still looking good, but you can see it pushes back how many percent from last week to this week. It has pushed back about 26%, and that's why I told you don't jump in right above. Now we have a pushback. Let's go to daily time frame to see if we're going to see something that will give us great. You can see even on a daily time frame is now a sell, because you can see, let me put this right here, that is what, that is a kicker right there. So we need to change that. So to me, as to right now, is selling. Not financial advice, make sure you do your own research, but if I were to be trading Asta, I'm going to drop it now and I'll wait for it to break this structure right here at $2. You understand? I am going to take profit at 1.9 or 1.8 thereabout and wait for it to create a structure or break above $2 before I get back onto the market. But on a weekly time frame, if you look at on a weekly time frame, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie, because it has not broken 1.2, but we can't wait for it to come and take all the gains all the way back down to 1.2. All right, let's take a look at another token right there, and that will be ADA. Let's take a look at ADA before we move to XRP. ADA too has not been able to break the floor, even though we have the weekly candle breaking it, but you can see the body fails to break it down. And since the body fails to break it down, we might as well just wait until we break 0.75, because the market could just start recovering up from there. But let's take a look at it on a daily time frame. On a daily time frame, they're all the same thing with Ethereum. They've created a structure, but you know, this is not a confirmation. Confirmation needs to be above this. So until we see it breaking above that, then we can say if you're out of the market, you can join it back on a daily time frame. But it's still a what? It's still a buy. All right, let's take a look at XRP. If you look at XRP right now, you see that XRP has been a sell and it's been failing to break this weekly whatever that we put here, and I can say we can still hold on to it, because you can see even though we have on the daily time frame it's been a sell down to this weekly, but we fails to break it now. Let's see if we're going to break above this $3. Then if you're out of the market, you get back in, or you wait and see if it's going to continue dumping. But XRP is still a buy. It has not broken the floor. I think the only token that has broken the floor among the altcoins has been ETH. You can see ETH has broken the floor even on a daily time frame. You can see it has broken the floor on a daily time frame. So we're just going to see if it's going to break above 4,001, 4,002 thereabout today. Then we're going to see if this is going to change to red. Let's take a look at BNB. If it's still maintaining is 1,000 push. Yes, you can see I told you guys BNB got to 1,000 and pushed down back to $900, which I told you that is even reasonable to join it now. So you could join what's it called, BNB now if you want, or let's take a look at it on a weekly time frame before we decide. On a weekly time frame, you can see it's still a buy. So it's still a buy, and we have a great push back on a daily time frame up to about 900 and something, which is a good place for you to get into the market. But remember, this is not financial advice, it's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research. All right, let's take a look at SUI. If you look at SUI right now, you see SUI on the daily time frame has given us a nice structure and is even a buy because it has not broken the previous day. So SUI is actually a buy. But let's take a look at it on a weekly time frame, and you can see even on a weekly time frame, it has not broken the floor because this week break down like this, but fails to push it on, first to break the floor. So we're going to change it back to green, and it shows that it's still a buy. So apart from ETH, I can see most of these altcoins, they are still maintaining the floor. because if you look at them, they're still on a green platform, not really broken like that. Apart from AAVE seems to have created a structure and broken the structure, and the floor is broken as well. But let's confirm it on a daily time frame to see if we have an entry. You can see even on a daily time frame we do not have an entry yet. For us to have a good entry, we need to break above $280, and that is what we'll be looking at. All right, let's take a look at Ton. Ton has been, it's been shorting since. Ton is still a sell, no buy yet, please. Let's stay away from that. Let's take a look at Pump Fund. And speaking of Pump Fund, I'll be launching my live trading journey on Pump Fund, where I'm going to share every bit of my experience on how I'll be trading $100 to $1 million. That's my target over a couple of months. But what I'm doing is just for the discipline, for accountability and all of that, and we're going to stick to that. And I'm launching a token with that as well, and it's going to start 1st of October. You don't want to miss out. You can check my TikTok channel out to see all about that. All right, let's take a look at Ondo. We all know Ondo too is a good coin, and it has not been able to break the floor, even though on a daily time frame it's been a sell, but not really broken the floor on a weekly time frame, and we might have a bounce back around here. And if you are not in it already, you need to wait for it to break $0.911 before you get on the market. All right, that's what I have for you regarding the altcoins this money. Let's now check what is going on with the meme coin, and we're going to start with Dogecoin, of course, because that is the king of meme coin. And if you look at Dogecoin right here, we have a kicker on a daily time frame, and it's been pushing it down. But on a weekly time frame, I think we've been holding on to this support right here, and we have not been able to break it. So on a weekly time frame, it's still a buy, even though on a daily time frame we'll see the market falling up. But on a weekly time frame, Dogecoin is still a buy, so we can still hold on to our position, and it's been looking strong with what happened to all of the token by the end of last week and the weekend. Dogecoin didn't really fall like that, and that is that. Let's take a look at Shiba Inu. We all know Shiba Inu too has been on this price zone for like how many weeks now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 5 weeks, or even more than if you count to the previous week before this one, and it has not been able to break down the 0.01 daily weekly time frame. Let's now check it on a daily time frame, and if you look at it on a daily time frame, all of them, they're creating this kind of a structure but no confirmation yet. So I don't know if they're going to break this floor, but if they fail to break it, that means the buy still holds. Let's take a look at Pepe. The same thing with Dogecoin. The weekly is not broken, even though we have the daily been falling, but now we have a structure for buyback to make sure we do not break the floor. So I think most of the altcoins, meme coins, they are still on the verge of the floor they've been standing on last week, and I believe this week is going to shake things up. Let's take a look at Trump token. Please stay away from that. Millennial token, stay away from that. Let's take a look at Popcard. Popcard was listed on one exchange last week, and that was good news for Popcard. You can see, please stay away from Popcard as well. Stay away from Popcard as well. All right, that's that on the chart analysis. We can see only Ethereum is really suffering that much. If you look at it, you can see it has been on minus how many percent. That is really huge compared to other tokens, but we are seeing it might start buying back today, but don't take my word for it. Let's see what the chart will show us, and we're going to discuss that on the chart analysis tomorrow. But for now, we need to stay away from ETH. All right, remember, this is not financial advice. It's just for educational purpose and entertainment. Make sure you do your own research before you put your money on any token or invest in any project. All right, that's that on the chart analysis, and we're not going to end the show without checking what the sentiment looks like. And I have to apologize for the glitches that happened earlier on regarding my screen sharing, but I think that has been sorted throughout the show now, and probably we're gonna see what we'll do with the rest of the week. All right, now if you've not subscribed to the channel, please do that right now. Subscribe, like, and share, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you can always get the juicy content we have for you on this show. You can follow me on Facebook, on X, on TikTok, and even on Instagram as well to always get the best. All right, before we round up the show, let's check what the fear and greed index is looking like this morning. I know I read it on one of the news outlets there that we are now close to 50%. We're back to neutral. If you may ask, was it showing the site can be reached? That is not possible. Let me reload it. Yeah, it's on. So it was my internet. Yeah, you can see we are back to 50 on the fear and greed index, and the sentiment quickly shift from 28 to 50 within just 2-3 days. And you can see last month was fear, last week fear, yesterday was fear, and now we're having neutral. And you can know for a couple of weeks now we've been from neutral to fear, neutral to fear, neutral to fear. So maybe the comeback is going to be brutal, but I just feel like we might just want to test all these tokens all-time highs again before we have the fall off. But don't take my word for it. Do your own research and make sure you trade with the money you can afford to lose. So you can see the fear and greed index sentiment is showing 50%. So like I said, the market has been 50-50 in between yes or no. But as long as you stick to this show and you tune in every morning live, we're going to be sharing all these great values together, and especially the market analysis. So for you to know if you need to get out of a trade, if you still need to stay in a trade, and we're going to be doing that together on this great platform. I'm Ahmed Oladmeji Kazim, aka KC the Great, and thanks for joining me live on this great show, the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show, where we trade it and we do not gamble it. I'll see you tomorrow, and it's peace out.